Hey guys, it's DJ AJ101 with you here tonight, and as you can see, I am here in the new place. You can see me finally, not just me holding a camera, filming this and that. And the other thing, I'm still getting things in place. I'm still waiting on a couch, so I'm filming from a nice comfy little lounge chair here tonight in my living room, where I hope to be filming the majority of videos that are like this. As you can see, the old microphone is back, and I have the Logitech camera right there along with a light and another light in the corner there, so hopefully the lighting will be better now that I'm here in the new place. And again, the echo still in here. I'm hoping that once I get the couch in here and a few other things, the echo will not be as bad. And hopefully now that I'm using this microphone, it won't be that bad either. But you clicked on this video because I'm sure you're interested to see what I want to talk about, and I'd like to do, like I said, more of these videos that are kind of more debatable topics, kind of like what Apple does, Microsoft, Google. And this is a video that I've made, I think, in a few different visions already, at least a couple of them. And I titled this video, Does Apple's Software Quality Matter Anymore? And the reason that I titled this video this way is because it's another rant about Apple's quality control when it comes down to software on the, on the PC side of things, on their MacBooks, on the iMacs, etc. And when it comes down to their software quality control on the mobile devices, the iPads, the iPhones, the Apple Watch, even the newest quality product that they just brought out, doesn't matter anymore. And the reason that I titled the video, It Doesn't Matter Anymore, is because I've seen plenty of articles. I'm going to link one in the description below for yourself. You guys can check it out for yourself personally if you want. I'm not going to go over everything. But it's a article entitled, Apple has a serious problem with software quality. It's from ZDNet, and it pretty much goes through and kind of looks at where Apple was with software quality a few years ago to where they are now. Almost the exact same time that, a year or two, give or take, that Steve Jobs passed away, and kind of looking at where, his vision and his, iron fist held when it came down to making sure the product was ready to go out the door, and it's not just, let's throw the hardware out the door, let's throw the software out the door, and let's see what happens. And it's kind of gotten down to it where the quality of the software is really suffering. And I want to say that personally because here's the thing, and I think I'm a seasoned enough veteran in the Apple ecosystem to really give my honest opinion about this. I've been using Mac OS 10 for the past 8 years, ever since Leopard. Yes, I got my first Mac laptop back in 2008 when Leopard was out. So I think I've had plenty of revisions, and versions and whatever. I'm running the latest on my Mac Mini back here, still running the 2-year-old Mavericks here on my MacBook, which is doing all the recording. And on the newer devices, the iPhones, the iPads, I'm running the latest and greatest iOS 9.1 point something, if it's even up to that. I know they have iOS 9.2 or 9.3, whatever the beta was that's coming out. I can't even keep up with them anymore. But again, the reason I'm making this video is because in my experience, going back to my first Apple product, which was the MacBook, and going back to my first iPhone, which was the iPhone 4 with iOS 4 on it, I have seen a steady decrease in quality control when it comes down to the software on a platform, which you would never expect in my eyes to come from a company, that's their model. We make the hardware, we make the software, we make the services, and it's all going to be the best. It's going to be better than what Google can offer. Microsoft can't offer it because they don't make the PCs and everything else. Of course, that's kind of changing now with the Surfaces and the Surface Books. But I really believe that Apple has one of the biggest problems with software that I think they have ever had with software, period, in their history, where it's just been a steady decline. It seems to be more about the feature implementation, which has been okay. I mean, the handoff quality, that is really neat. I mean, the continuity where you can go from your Mac to your iPhone to your iPad and do anything you want, kind of like the Google services on all your devices, is really, really solid. It works very well. But when it comes down to the overall stability of the platform, where you just see certain things, like when I'm typing a text message and there's delay on the text message, and that's not just because I have an iPhone 5S. I have an iPad Air 2 where I see the exact same quality issues. I remember that there was a quality issue in iOS 8 where you would have the old multitasking view where you would slide it across and you'd be able to see each panel individually for the app. and you would try to click on one and it would still be kind of moving. Even if it wasn't moving, you'd tap on it and it would come to screen and half of it would be cut off on the screen. You'd see the other half kind of the background, or your other app to the side, there'd be a little blank space or whatever. And then they finally fixed that. And then you've all these other little bugs that come up, and there's too many to mention. I mean, those have been a few of them that I've seen personally. And I just think back to my first iOS 4 on my iPhone 4. The original 4.0, I believe, was way more stable than iOS 9.2 is, and more than likely iOS 9.3 is. So when I look at this and I read this article, I'm looking at my laptop down here. I know you can't see it, just so you know. But I mean, I literally have to ask myself, and I need to ask you guys. I need to ask you guys what your experience is. You know, does the software quality for Apple matter anymore? Because they're still selling record number of Macs and iPhones, and it really feels like they're trying to push things out the door to make more money. I think that's Tim Cook's model, because he is, the supply chain guy. He's kind of the bean counter of the company now. He wants to make sure that Apple's remaining in the profitable sector, that, the stock price continues to go up and stockholders are happy, because that's who owns the company, are the stockholders. And I really look at this and I believe that it's more at this point than ever has been before in the past, 20 years of Apple. And ever since Steve Jobs passed away, because I really personally don't believe in my heart, if you really want to take a company to that kind of level of sincerity and trust and quality, and, kind of making it, more like kind of like your best friend or your brother or your sibling or your parents, or you have that personal relationship. I believe if there was ever a time where you had to look at Apple and say, they are sincere about quality, and getting what you pay for. That was the time that I believe that Apple was in the spotlight. They had the quality, they had the drive, they had the engineering, they had the outlook and the vision of their leader, Steve Jobs, to make some of the best products on the planet. Even though they were premium priced, I believe that you got a lot more you got a lot more then than what you do today. It seems that they are just getting products out the door to make more money. I feel that the emotional connection that you get to a company like that is actually deteriorating and is no longer a factor. And not to say that that is the reason that you should buy an Apple product, is to become part of the Apple ecosystem, but I believe that was a big selling point, that it just works. It didn't always just work, and I think anyone that's owned Apple products for any period of time would tell you that, but I believe it was a lot stronger back in the day than what it is today, for what Steve Jobs brought to that company, and his vision and his goal and his drive and determination to make Apple a quality the number one quality product company on the planet, and still making very good money on top of it. I believe that is lost. I can see the issues in OS X, where there is basically no substantial improvements. If anything, it just breaks more apps and you have more problems. And I believe that a lot of the reviewers do a lot of people or an injustice with their reviews, to say, what, all these quality features make it worth it. And maybe it is for a lot of different people. Again, the iOSification of Mac OS X and some of the features in OS X, bringing the more complex operating system to the mobile platform on the iPhone and the iPad, and now the Apple Watch kind of being an extension of the accessory line from your Mac to your iPhone to your iPad. It brings a lot of great features, like I said before, but I believe the quality continues to decline. I don't believe that their niche in the market is as clear as it was a few years ago. I don't believe it anymore, because I believe that it was, that people expected a product and a quality experience above anything else that they had ever imagined, coming from Apple, coming from the company that believed in engineering and the ingenuity and the vision that could make a great product. But nowadays, I feel that they are more obsessed about dollars, about the stock price, about continuing the financial growth of the company, which should be the drive for any company. But I believe that special sauce that made Apple great is no longer there. And I want to ask you, do you believe that people really think in that motto anymore? Or do they believe that, this iOS version isn't as good, my phone crashed, I lost, things, a lot of stuff that hadn't happened maybe 3 years ago with my iPhone? Do you think that they believe anymore nowadays that doesn't matter, that it's just all about the brand, the logo that's on your product. I want to ask you guys that. And like I said, I don't believe that's the case anymore. I believe that Apple should go back to their roots, which is about creating the best quality product on the planet when it comes down to hardware and the software and the integration of all the services than they ever have in the past. Because I believe that there is a lot of slippage coming ever since the redesign of iOS 7. It felt like it was rushed. It felt like it was pushed out the door. And it still feels like things are getting rushed out the door and to market. And you want to know what? These devices still work. They still work exceptionally well. There's a reason that I still continue to use them. But I guess I've come to the conclusion that I believe for the amount of money I'm spending for these devices, I don't believe I'm getting the quality experience that I once got, that I still should be getting today, because these devices are not getting any cheaper. They're still like $600 to over $1,000 for an iPhone 6 Plus, 6S Plus, 6S. And I believe that people deserve more from their money. I believe everyone that's ever used an Apple product deserves more. I believe I deserve more. And I just want to know what you guys think about this. Again, I've given you my opinion. I am going to link the article right down below. And if anything, hopefully this will be a little rant about the Apple experience and where I think Apple is headed. I don't think it's going to get any better. I'll be honest with you. I think I would have to see a major turnaround just looking toward the future. I mean, Apple's had 3 years to clean this up, and they have yet to clean it up. And if anything, it's continuing to get worse. It's not getting any better. Again, there's a lot more features, but again, how much are the features worth if the quality of the software continues to decline and not get any better? Google's doing a better job right now than what Apple is. I believe Android as a mature operating system, a mobile operating system, is doing better right now than iOS in the quality, mature mobile operating system market. Windows Phone, the Windows Mobile OS now, not the old one, not the Windows Mobile old blah, 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 but the Windows Phone OS, like that they have on the tablets, the overlay, is much better than iOS. And yet again, the only one that you can really compare as far as the quality of apps in the app market is Apple and Android markets, or the platforms that are out there. And so it's really coming down to being the two-horse race on quality. I think Android Marshmallow is fantastic. I think Apple continues to decline in quality. As I've said, I think Android continues to mature and come up with a great quality suite of not only apps, but the platform to build on. And I really believe that for Apple to continue to maintain its dominance, because I mean, they have a lot of fans right now, and I think buying into that whole thing that you buy a Mac, that you buy an iPhone, that you buy an Apple Watch, that everything works together is still working out pretty well. But I think if the quality continues to decline in the software, I think people might eventually switch if the Android side continues to get better and more mature than the iOS side. And who knows, Android might eventually come out with a brand new version and a rehaul and a look and an overview or whatever, just like iOS did 3 years ago. And we might go back to an equal playing field. But just from my personal perspective, I believe iOS was better and more stable with the very first version, the very first try, go ahead at the iPhone back in 2007 than what it is today. And I want to just ask you guys, what do you think about this? Do you think I'm nuts? Do you have any reasons why? Do you think it's just because Steve Jobs is no longer at the company and really has the iron fist and the driving force to say, you want to know what, we're not going to put this piece of crap out in the market because it's worse than our first product that we had in this market like a decade ago now, 2007 to 2006, and now it's 2016, almost a decade later, and it's getting worse. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you guys think I'm out of my mind? Do you guys think I'm right? Do you guys expect more for your money? I believe people should expect more. That's my personal opinion on it. But, do you believe that people would just rather hand over their money and expect, that, everything's going to be fine and this and that? Again, a lot of great qualities that Apple still holds today. But I believe in some of the most important qualities that brought them to the game, brought them to be a major player in the game, are starting to slip, and I believe that will eventually catch up to them, and that will be kind of more of a better thing for their competitors than it will be for them. Let me know what you guys think below. Again, I've probably gone around in circles about 5 different times with this, but I really wanted to explain my point. I hope you guys have enjoyed this extra long video. Please check out my social links below so you can stay up to date on all my videos. I do a lot of videos about technology, unboxings, reviews. Again, I do like to throw in a rant or a little bit of a kind of what's in my head tonight as far as Apple's quality control. I will also have the link to that article that I have right here in front of me about Apple has some serious quality software issues, and that'll be right down below as well. So if you happen to like this video, please hit that like button, and I always appreciate it, and I always hope to see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys have a great weekend. That's when I'm filming this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great one till then, guys.